All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ruach Double honor to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, whose taught us is 100% truth. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to the Akim Christians, truth and sincerity. And shalom to the sincere Aqua out there, maybe out there watching and learning. It's Brother Call from the GMS Columbus, Ohio branch. Back at another quick lesson through the Spirit. My last video was, going into the righteous hatred, that we have built up within us, and just to land back on that real quick, there's nothing wrong with having that hate, because having the love and all that for this place, it'll take your mind off the truth. It'll take your mind off the Lord, because understand that the scriptures tell you that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. All right. So it's rightfully so that everything that the rulers of this world push out or promote or whatever is wickedness. All right. It's rightfully so, So for that alone, understanding, excuse me, that the earth was given into the wicked, you should have a hate for this place. All right. And you should be hasting righteousness to be established. And with understanding that, you have to understand also that righteousness cannot be established with the wicked ruler in place. Okay, so for that alone, everyone that claims to know the Lord or claims to serve the Lord should be looking forward to the end of this world and the coming of our Savior, Yahweh Shai, which the world English calls Jesus Christ. All right. So just to make that quick point, all right, because that's very important. And that's one thing that you people fail to realize, that's in the world. You think that you can make steps to make this place better. Your Michael Jackson vibes, heal the world, all that. You can't. We can't heal the world without that divine intervention, without Yahweh Shai wreaking havoc on this place. All right. This place has to be purged. It has to be cleansed. All right. And what's that cleansing process? Is through fire, man. All right. Simple as that. All right. But in this lesson, real quick, I just wanted to touch on Jake, and their lack of understanding. All right. And just like I was just talking about, our people don't understand, and our people have tried many times to, get us back in that position where we once were, because we had a time of prestige, even in recent years, the Black Wall Street kind of things, you know what I'm saying? People had a glimpse of hope when, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these people were on the scene, but ultimately it has just led us to fail once again. All right. And it's all due to prophecy. All right. But I got a couple precepts here in the book of Jeremiah, and we know Jeremiah was sent, to Jake, and Babylon, etc., to rebuke them and to let them know of their faults, and try to make them turn around. But as we're going to read in a few precepts, our people are just hard-headed. Our people lack understanding. Our people lack the inkling to grow, all right? Our people are very stubborn, you see, and that's why we are looked down upon in this world we live in today, because our people lack so much knowledge, all right? And Esau has taken his precious time and broken us down, all right? So now that the generations that are here now, they look at us like, oh my gosh, these dumbass black people. You know what I'm saying? Or these dumbass Jakes. You know what I'm saying? And our people don't want to wake up and learn, what's best for us, man. All right? And what's best for us is nothing here. Nothing. What's best for us is Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. It's Yahweh Shai coming back to wreak havoc on this place and destroy this place. All right? In that way, that righteousness and them laws and everything will be put in our inward parts, man, and we won't be able to go off anymore. All right. But I'll start here. Jeremiah 4, verse 22. It says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Scottish children." You see, in this real quick, I want to stop there just real quick because a lot of people also don't understand, the Gentile matter, which that's a whole nother lesson in itself. But just to put it in a few words, every time you see, excuse me, the word Gentile in the Bible, it's not always literally talking about the actual Gentiles, because there are actual Gentiles. All right. So when you hear the scriptures about, Gentiles making it, etc., it's not talking about, the actual Gentiles, which are the heathen. All right. It's talking about the Israelites that have fallen away and that have, fallen into idol worship, etc. And that's also what Jeremiah was going into, rebuking our people for worshiping these idols and these false gods, that were made by hand, So just like here, they may call Jake, Gentiles, as he said here, they are Scottish children. All right, which, we're not literally Scottish, but you're foreign, you're not of me, Reading on, it says, "And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." You see, and you see that on a day-to-day with the YNs, all right? The young black men, the young men in the hood in general, they're not wise to do anything good. All right, they are very wise to do evil. All right, and that's what they live their lives by. All right, you want to go out, you want to go steal something, you want to go steal a car, you want to go smoke some weed, you want to go pop some pills, drink some lean, whatever. You want to go deal with the next man's woman. All right, I took his girl. You want to, you boast in pride. Your eyes are set on the carnal things. All right, going to get a Hellcat and this or the third. I want to be a rapper. I want to be in the midst of all these celebrities. Oh my gosh, I idol NBA YoungBoy. This, typical young nigga behavior. The black woman is throwed off. Don't need a man, don't want a man, live on government assistance, depend on it, can't live without it. Section 8 babies, all this shit. A bunch of different baby daddies. Filled with pride. A lot of things, that our people fall victim to. It's sad. But it's the reality. Okay, and that's where understanding comes in. You have to understand why things are the way that they are. Okay, because we live in a wicked world, and that's why you shouldn't want to be here. All right, you shouldn't want to be here. Simple as that. Let me go here first. Hosea 4:6. Real quick. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, it says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Excuse me. Yet thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children." You see? So, the Lord has had to turn his back upon us, on 2/3 of our people, because our people don't want to get right. All right, our people are the definition of can't get right. And at the end of the day, it would be nice if all our people could get right and make it. But at the end of the day, that's not how it was set up to be. So for that reason alone, we have to get on you. All right. And understand that when you were getting rebuked, when people were saying certain things about you, you should take heed. All right, and have that inkling in your body to learn and want to be something better than what you're perceived to be. Because a lot of people in this world, they have that mindset of I am who I am. Okay, yeah, we all have personalities, you know what I'm saying, that differ. All right. But your morals and the way you carry yourself, the way you handle things, does not have to be what the hell you grew up as. All right, which is a nigga. It doesn't have to be that, you know. But that's what our people gravitate towards, and they're proud of it, and that's a problem. All right. When you're being told to change or do better in this manner and that manner, it's not to change your personality. All right. If you funny, goofy, all that, ain't nothing wrong with being that way. All right. If you a little more serious, a little more stern, ain't nothing wrong with being that way. All right. If you're a little loud, whatever, ain't nothing wrong with being that way. But it's time and place for everything, first and foremost. All right. So if it's time to sit down and be quiet and lock in, that's what you do. All right. When it's time for you to, let your hair down a little bit, okay, let your hair down a little bit. All right. But boasting and bragging and your wicked behavior and your nastiness, all right, your pride, all right, you going off. Okay. um, let's see. Let's lock it. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 14, because this is what it eventually comes to. You know, we've all, in this truth, have had point in time, which I made this point. This point's been made many times, but we've all had that point in time where you try to wake up your family, you try to teach them, you try to let them know, first and foremost, hey, you're an Israelite. The name of the Lord is Yahweh. The name of his only begotten son is Yahweh Shai. All right? The most important thing to know. All right? And it shows that the Lord actually blinds our people, because a lot of people, are not able to get the names after, the first couple tries, and that shows that the Lord turned that light off in them. They have no light in them. All right? There's no oil in their lamps. All right? You try to tell them, about their conduct, how they're moving, how they're acting, all these different things, and our people just deny it. All right? Or they try to combat what you're telling them with some worldly knowledge. All right? And I'll get that real quick, because people don't understand that. They think because they know something according to the world that they are wise, that they have understanding. All right? I believe it's maybe wisdom. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 3:19, it says, "For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness." You see, so thinking that you're wise, trying to combat the men of the Lord with some BS that you learned in the world, and think that you're right, you're going off. You gotta understand that the words that we preach are coming directly from the Lord. It's not we just pulling shit out of the woodworks and saying this is what it is. No, the Lord has revealed certain things unto us. All right, the Lord has given our apostles on down, to be able to break down these scriptures correctly. All right, with understanding. All right, in which everything that has been taught unto us has been proven. All right, through the scriptures and by prophecy playing out as it was taught that it will happen. All right, so you trying to combat against men of the Lord with your BS, you're only setting yourself up for failure. You're marking yourself. All right, the shit that you learned, the shit that you think it don't matter. All right, and it's not gonna save you in the day of trouble. All right, the only thing that's gonna save you in the time of trouble is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That he may have mercy on you, that he may have your back. All right. Okay, so back here, like I said, because this is what it comes to. You eventually give up on them. All right. And it ain't for you to rack your brain and, go all out and go crazy because your people don't want to get it. All right? Our people have no excuse. We're out on the highways and byways, preaching the word, dropping videos. Every great millstone, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos that come out every day. If it ain't one brother, it's the next brother. If not every brother. All right? The word is going out, so nobody has an excuse. But if you want to be stubborn and you want to pull away the shoulder, so be it. Have your way. And this is what it comes to. Jeremiah 11 and verse 14. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. See, the Lord's telling you, hey man, don't even pray for these people, man. They're not worth your prayer. All right? It comes upon a time they ain't worth your effort, man. All right, the scriptures tell you, cast ye not your pearls among swine. All right? A lot of our people are swine, man. All right? And a lot of our people gonna die. And we can end it off with that. Let's see. Slovakia. Zechariah. Zechariah 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. They shall say, Yahweh is my power. All right? So I can let you know, man, 2/3 of our people going to be cut off. They're going to die. In the time when the end comes and them nukes is, going out and the Lord, returns with them chariots, you know what I'm saying? 2/3 of our people are going to be left right here to burn with the rest of these wicked people and this wicked kingdom and these heathen. All right? And for those that took heed, that put up their pants and did the work, all right? For the women out there that were submissive, that honored their husbands, all right? And handled business at the home, all right? And did their best to serve the Lord, all right? Those will be the ones that make it out, all right? We know life is tough right now, and it's only going to get tougher, all right? But the scriptures tell you, he that endures to end, the same shall be saved, all right? And if you of the elect, all right, you will be in the spirit to endure and to fight, all right? Understanding whatever comes with this truth, man, you got to be willing to accept it and keep pushing, keep the faith, all right? Because a lot of our people ain't, all right? So don't fall victim, you know what I'm saying, trying to follow behind these people of the world, all right? That's it. Lord willing, this was edifying. When they give all praise, honor, and glory again unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. So shalom on the Bible ball.